It's time to dust off your favourite chair and sit in front of the big screen TV. Get a drink in your hand because it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Your number one host, the Thunder from Down Under, a man on a quest to make money for beer. Sparring DK presents Relegation Regen Rebuild, Atletico Madrid. Hello and welcome to REGENAIRO number 5. This is our 5th season, our 5th REGENAIRO awards for this career mode, and it's been a very interesting season because obviously we did play Champions League football, so the reserves will get some votes, definitely floating about early, and then the first team will kick in, so it's really up for grabs this year. Let's look at last year's table though. Arnos absolutely smashed it last season with 64 points, no one even getting close. I think it'll be a lot closer this season. Purely because so many players came through our La Liga team through the 38 odd games. So sit back, relax. This should be a fairly interesting count. Feel free to leave comments on who you think will win the REGENAIRO this season. But let's jump into it. All right, let's kick this count off. We're into game number 1. And the first vote goes to Damn Cools. 2 votes for Sa and 3 votes straight off the bat for Aguado. Now don't forget, Aguado was leading our reserve team at the start. We gave Arnos the opportunity to play in the first team. So Aguado here in the first game of the season picks up 3 points. Let's move into game number 2. Aguado off with the first man of the match. Let's see how he goes here in game 2. We've got 1 vote for Tamir El-Deeb, the right back. 2 votes for Damn Cool, so he started the season well as the reserve centre-back, and 3 votes it is there for Aguado, off to a flyer, and up to 6 votes. We move to game at number 3, and we've got 1 vote for Villalba. 2 votes for Damn Cools once again, and it is Aguado, 3 for 3. He leapfrogs out to 9 points. Game number 4, and we've got 1 vote for Tamir El-Deeb. 2 votes for Granero, and 3 votes for Maxim van den Broek, the Belgian centre midfielder. 4 games completed, we move into game number 5, and we've got 1 vote here for Diogo Rios, 2 votes for Sergio Alvarez, and 3 votes for Jose Manuel. So it looks like the first team got a run out there in game number 5, and the captain picking himself up 3 votes. We move now into game number 6. It's still Aguado out by 4 points. We've got 1 vote here for Tamir El-Deeb, 2 votes for Villalba, and 3 votes, it is Aguado. He goes to 12 points and he's hit double figures already. Time for game number 7, and we have 1 vote in here for Lovato. Holy shit, he's picked up a vote. 2 votes for Rios, and 3 votes for the captain, Jose Manuel. He goes into 2nd position with 6 points. It's time for game number 8, and we've got 1 vote for Damn Cools back on the board. 2 votes here for Aguado, going to 14 points. And man of the match for game number 8 is Chevalier. Picks up 3 points, the young Frenchman. Game number 9, and we've got 1 vote for Sergio Alvarez. 2 votes for Sancho Gallardo. And 3 votes, it's the captain again, Jose Manuel, going to 9 points. Game number 10, and we've got 1 vote for Arnos. That's probably his first votes for the season. 2 votes here for... well, if my computer decides to catch up, Lovato, and 3 votes, it's Jose Manuel, and he's closing the gap here on Aguado. He goes to 12 points. Game number 11, we've got 1 vote here for Tamir El-Deeb, just picking up points for fun. 2 votes goes to Lloris, and 3 votes for Sa. So it must have been a very defensive performance there in game number 11. We move into game number 12, and it's a very interesting leaderboard. Pretty much Aguado and Manuel hosting the top, and some different reserves players there. But don't forget, obviously, the Champions League comes to an end, and the first team will start picking up some votes. So let's go. We've got 1 vote here for Sa, 2 votes for The Rock, and 3 votes for Quiroga. Okay, more lads to join this leaderboard. Game number 13, we've got 1 vote for Damn Cools, 2 votes for The Rock, and 3 votes for Manolo Reina. He's come back from his loan spell, and he's actually put in some decent shifts this season, so he's picked up 3 points in game 13. Right, game number 14, we've got 1 vote for Manolo Reina, 2 votes for Aguado, and 3 votes for Lloris. So Aguado just opens up the gap a little bit more. Moving into game number 15, we've got 1 vote for The Rock, 2 votes for Jose Manuel, and 3 votes here for Luciano Arnos, picking up his first man of the match, and he might actually make it onto the top 10. Moving into game 16, it's pretty much a two-horse race at the moment between Aguado and Jose Manuel, but you just know that the first team players are going to start picking up some points. So let's jump into this one, and it is Guimaraes Billah with 1 vote, 2 for Arnos, and 3 for Aguado when he goes to 19 points. Well, we move into game 17. Arnos starting to make a little bit of a run. Don't forget, he is the defending champion. We've got 1 vote here for Sancho Gallardo, 2 votes for Arnos, and 3 votes for Aguado. And Aguado was racing away from this pack. We move into game number 18. It's Aguado with a foreseeable lead at the moment. We've got 1 vote for Jose Manuel, 2 votes for Arnos, and 3 votes for Aguado once again. Aguado by 10 points into game number 19. We've got 1 vote for Guimaraes Billah, 2 votes for Aguado, 3 votes for Arnos. So Arnos making a decent run here, but will he be able to catch Aguado? Time for game 20, and we've got 1 vote for Sergio Alvarez, 2 votes for Aguado, and 3 votes for Arnos. Back-to-back man of the matches there for Arnos, takes him to 16 points. Game 21, we've got 1 vote for Pinto Trabulu, and I think that's his first points of the season. 2 votes here for Arnos, and 3 votes for Jose Manuel. So Arnos and Manuel doing their best to try and chase down Aguado. Game number 22, we've got 1 vote here for Guimaraes Billah, 2 votes, Diogo Rios, 3 votes, Luciano Arnos. He is making a red-hot run here now. Game number 23, we've got 1 vote for Lovato, 2 votes for Diogo Rios, 3 votes goes to Aguado, and he goes to 32 points. Game number 24, it's Aguado out by 11 points. Let's get into the votes though. We've got 1 for Sergio Alvarez, 2 for Guimaraes Billah, and 3 votes for Luciano Arnos, goes to 24 points. Game number 25, we've got 1 vote for Sancho Gallardo, 2 votes here for Aguado, and 3 votes, Luciano Arnos closes the gap by 1. Game number 26, 1 vote, Sergio Alvarez, 2 votes for The Rock, and 3 votes for Sancho Gallardo. Right, game number 27, we've got 1 vote here for Guimaraes Billah, 2 votes here for Aguado, and 3 votes for Sergio Alvarez. Well, just like that, Sergio Alvarez has rocketed himself into 4th position. He's only on 9 points. You can't see him catching Aguado, but a good, patch he had there in the second half of the season. Let's get into the votes for game 28. We've got 1 for Quiroga, 2 votes for Jose Manuel, and 3 votes for Sergio Alvarez. Well, game 29, can anyone catch Aguado from here? We'll find out soon. We've got 1 vote here for Guimaraes Billah, 2 votes for Sancho Gallardo, and 3 votes for Luciano Arnos. He goes to 30. We move into game number 30 now. 8 games to go. 1 vote for Maxim Vandenbroek, 2 votes for Lucero, okay, and 3 votes for Rodolfo Gallardo. So 3 lads there getting some votes that aren't on the leaderboard at the moment. Game 31, we've got 1 vote for Guimaraes Billah, 2 votes for Sergio Alvarez, and 3 votes for Luciano Arnos, and he comes within 3 points of Aguado. Game 32, we've got 1 vote for Jose Manuel, 2 votes Nicola Russo, 3 votes Guimaraes Billah, and he goes into double figures. Moving to game number 33, we've got 1 vote here for Luciano Arnos. He goes to 34 points. 2 votes for Guimaraes Billah, and 3 votes goes to Sergio Alvarez. Game number 34, 1 vote Rodolfo Gallardo, 2 votes Nicola Russo, 3 votes Sergio Alvarez. Game number 35, 1 vote for Diogo Rios, 2 votes Jose Manuel, 3 votes Guimaraes Billah. Okay, interesting stuff. 3 games of voting to go. Game 36, 1 vote for Aguado, 2 votes Jose Manuel, 3 votes for The Rock. So The Rock joins double figures. We've got 2 games to go. Arnos will need to poll here if he wants to try and catch Aguado. We've got 1 vote Lovato. 2 votes. Guimaraes Billa. 3 votes. Sergio Alvarez. So Sergio goes to 23 points, and I think Aguado might have won it. Final game of the season. Will it be a draw? Will Arnos be able to take the 3 points in the final game of the season? Let's check the votes. We've got 1 for Sancho Gallardo. 2 votes. Luciano Arnos. He goes to 36, so he is going to lose out to Aguado. And 3 points does go to the man, the myth, the legend. That is Aguado, who goes to 40 points, and he will be named the Regenairo winner for season number 5. So there we have it. Aguado has taken the Regenairo. I think that's his second one with 40 points. A lot closer this season than we thought it might have been. Obviously, some of the players not playing in the La Liga that often. And Arnos came from nowhere with 36 points. Alvarez came out of nowhere. Jose Manuel's had another incredible season. But it is Aguado who is our Regenairo champion for season number 5. We will have the Regenairo back again for season number 6. That's where we'll leave this one today. Hopefully you enjoyed the count. We'll see you next time. I'm Sparring DK. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, and you have a good one.